Donald Trump's mass pardoning of nearly 1,500 January 6 defendants have sent shockwaves through the nation. And that's what we're diving into today on Podcast Talk. It's the LG Experience, and I am your host, Mr. LG. It's been a little while since our last episode due to some technical glitches, but I'm back and ready to share my thoughts on this explosive development. And speaking of exciting developments, a huge thank you to our 34 subscribers. Let's aim for 45 or maybe even 47, given the subject matter. Hit that subscribe button and give us a like to help us reach that goal. We'll be breaking down the implications of these pardons. And also just touching on other major news. You got ASAP Rocky's upcoming gun trial. And in sports, Ben Johnson appointment as the new Chicago Bears head coach. Let's get into it. So we all pretty much know what happened on January the 6th. I was working that day and someone came and told me they were storming the Capitol building. It was breaking news and it was all over the airwaves. And we saw what was going on over there live. And we know it was stemming from they not believing that Trump lost that election. He still stand by that today, and many people from that party still believe it today. Some may say it, some may not. And if they do get pushed, ask those questions, because reporters do ask that question, do you accept the loss from the last election? So they've been asking him that question ever since he lost that election. And of course, Biden came in, and that's what we've been dealing with for the past 4 years. And there's definitely a split in this country when it comes to Republicans and Democrats. I want to be clear here. This is not a political podcast. I just give my thoughts on trending topics and current events. And this is one of those things that's a current event. Pardoning these people. And I believe, and many other people believe, that he had already had his list of people that he wanted to pardon. And he did. He had already had his mind made up. If he get in that office, he is going to pardon these people. And I believe a big reason for that because they followers of his. And he understands public relations. He understands it very well. He's been doing public relations for decades, since he was a younger man. So he understands followings. He understands audiences. He understands support. And he really believed in his heart that those people are his supporters. But according to the AP, President Donald Trump has pardoned, commuted the prison sentences, or vowed to dismiss the cases of all of the 1,500 plus people charged with crimes in January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riots, including people convicted of assaulting police officers, using his clemency powers on his first day back in office to undo the massive prosecution of unprecedented assaults on the seat on the American democracy. Trump's actions just hours after his return to the White House on Monday paves the way for the release from prison of people found guilty of violent attacks on police, as well as leaders as far-right extremist groups convicted of failed plots to keep the Republican in power after he lost the 2020 presidential election to Democrat Joe Biden. So basically, all the people that caught cases and that's been in prison, federal prison, is about to go home. It's already going through right now, and he also already signed off on it. This is his first day back in office. Give me y'all thoughts on that. What do y'all think about this? I want to thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all click that subscribe button, click that like button. Clicking the like button helps the algorithm of this podcast. But what do I think about that? I thought it was crazy when all that stuff happened, and I don't think I really have an opinion either way, because you got the power to do that, and how can we stop that? No, I don't think it was a good thing that they went storming through the Capitol building. I think things could be held in a more, modern type way, or American type way, where you sit at the table and discuss your differences and agree to disagree. And people out there think that Trump actually riled these people up to storm down there. But in his mind, he didn't tell them to do that. And he didn't do much to stop that. Unfortunately, he couldn't be brought up on any type of charges because of that. But you catch somebody on a domestic level who did something like that, what he's alleged to be doing by getting these people riled up, I believe they will catch a case. Just say, for instance, that was me riling up these people to go storm some building. I would catch a case for that. So people get special privileges when they're in special power, in special seats, and know certain people. And the Republicans is going to stand behind that, and they have stood behind that. Most of them. You may have 1 or 2, 3 people that may defect from that, but most of those Republicans stood by what Trump was talking about. They don't believe he lost that election. What do y'all think? Should he have let all of these people out of there? He had the power to do it, but how can you stop it? He already had that plan if he was to get elected back into that seat. What else do he have on his agenda? Many people think that he will be taking revenge out on people who's going against him. We'll see how that play out. Y'all think he's going to do that? We don't know. There's a lot of people was going after Trump when he wasn't in office, let alone being in office. They tried everything in their power to stop this guy from getting back in that office. They got all kind of charges brought upon him that the average person or the average Joe, they wouldn't get no chance like that. They would not. But they put some charges on him. That didn't stop him from being president. That did not stop him, because people stand behind him. And that's just some of his followers that he let out of there. I believe that he's loyal to his followers because they are loyal to him. If they go through all that for him, I believe he appreciate that. I really do. What do y'all think? So, here go a couple of things Democrats had to say about this move. As Democrats slammed the move to extend the pardons to violent rioters, many of whose crimes were captured on camera and broadcast live on TV. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called it an outrageous insult to our justice system and the heroes who suffered physical scars and emotional trauma as they protected the Capitol, Congress, and the Constitution. You got Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer. He said in an email statement, Donald Trump is ushering in a golden age for people that break the law and attempt to overthrow the government. People be doing that stuff all over the world, though. They heavy into politics. It's an industry. Politics is an industry, and they have fans of politics. If you ever look at those national conventions they be having, those places be packed out. They come to those arenas and they come to see these people speak. Donald Trump does that all the time. He's always at some type of rally or something. So there's people out there that follows these politicians around. It's an industry. When you have an industry, people follow industries. This is the political arena. And this guy has a following. He had a following before he even became the president, just from being on TV. They used to put him in rap songs and looked at him as some type of financial inspiration. But since he became president, people come out of the woodworks. That's what I think. That's just my thought. Click that like button, click that subscribe button. You all can leave a comment and tell me your thoughts on it. I'm happy to be back with you all. It's been a couple of weeks, and I just couldn't wait to do this episode. Speaking of ASAP Rocky, he got a case coming up. He's fighting a gun charge. He's been charged with firing a shot at a former friend. That's coming up. And people in the sports and these teams looking for coaches, and it's just been big news with this one. Ben Johnson, the former offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Hey, congratulations on that. Even though I think he made a couple of bum plays in that last game against the Commanders. But it is what it is. Hey, congratulations on that. This is the LG Experience. I am your host, Mr. LG. Talking about Donald Trump. Pardon these people. But it's not clear when they will actually be released. But I'm sure the lawyers, all 1,500 or more of these people, are working on the actual release. And I'm willing to bet you it's coming in the coming months. So Democrats is going to slam this, and many other people are. It's some people that just, when I post shorts on this channel and when I post political shorts, somebody's going to make a comment. That is going to happen for sure. And it's from both sides. And in personal conversations I have with people are steadfast whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. And either side always try to explain their view from being on their particular side, whether it's Republican or a Democrat. So I run into somebody that's a Republican, they're going to explain why they're Republicans, and they're going to explain pure hatred for Democrats. And this is the same thing for Democrats. They explain their perspective for being a Democrat, and they tell you why they don't like Republicans. And it's just not like Trump is the one or either Biden is the one. They just don't like Republicans altogether. It don't matter which Republican it is. They just don't like them altogether. And it's the same thing for the Republicans towards the Democrats. It don't matter who the president is or whatever position you got. If you just represent that party, they just don't like you. And that always sparks a debate. I can tell just from the comment section. People are into their parties. Some people been in those parties their entire life, probably before they were able to vote. Some people grew up in political families, whether it's local, county, state, or federal. But people do follow politics, and they follow it all over the world. It's the LG Experience. I just want to jump on here and drop this episode. I just had to talk about this particular subject. And it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on here. I'm still working on these technical glitches with this computer, but I was able to do this episode. Don't forget to click that like button, click that subscribe button, and share this with a friend. It's all love and peace.